Nice. That was dumb. Look, it's the Enterprise. Yes, just beyond that enormous sleeping dragon. Dragon is not a concern. We have come for the airship, and only the airship. Sid, you and I will need to board the Enterprise and prepare for launch. Sainthia, you stay here and keep an eye on the beast. If it wakes, we may need you to provide a distraction until we're ready to depart. You can manage that, can't you? That settles it then, shall we, Sid? As you command. So you mean to slay Garudi next? Interesting. Most interesting. And you are aware that her strength greatly exceeds that of your previous conquests, a testament to the fanatical devotion of her followers. The Ixal are nothing if not zealous. In spite of your past achievements, I labor to believe that you will best this foe. Yet only a fool would underestimate the great bringer of light, slayer of Ifrit, bane of Titan. If any mortal is capable of defeating the Lady of Vortex, it is you. Win or lose, the battle should at least make of an entertaining spectacle. Soon, of course, you live that long. Alphino, the dragon! Confound it all. Let us see how well your blasphemous gifts serve you this time, Crystal Bearer. Okay, who needs a res? Oh, that's the actual layout of the dungeon. I don't know myself. responsibility sorely. Let's see here. We've been down 13, 16. Oh, sweet. Sainthia! Sainthia! Are you alright? Speak to me! Twelve be praised. I feared the beast had injured you. I see now why others rated you so highly. When you were caught in the midst of the etheric bubble of the dragon, I was all but certain my next mission would be to find a new champion. Thank the gods for sparing me that inconvenience. I have quite enough to do already, which reminds me, Sid is working on the Enterprise as we speak. Let us go and see what he has to say. What is it, Sid? What do you say, you, Sid? Will she fly? Yes, though it won't be a pleasant ride. Well, I dare say it will be no more unpleasant than staying here. 'Tis pity that the Enterprise is not in a better state, but if she will allow us to quit this place, I shall not complain. For an agreement, let us return to Gridania. Though I'd like nothing more than to set course with the Howling Eye, it is plain the Enterprise is in no condition to weather the storm. She must needs be prepared if we are to proceed with our mission. smells so familiar. I know this airship. If I could just... But it's no use. Let's go. When I look at her, I feel as though I've come home. I can think of no other way to express it. Ah, how I've longed for the more agreeable climate of the 12th one. Yet I will not deny the Holy See had its charms. Unless detours aside, our Ishgardian jaunt proved quite an adventure. Alas, the work here is far from done. We still have an airship to prepare and a primal to slay. No rest for the heroic, eh? It calms me to look at her. It's as though I've been reunited with a part of me I never knew was missing. Hardly surprising, you did design and build her. I bear good news. The Seatsiers have granted our request to house the Enterprise. It may take as long as we require to repair her. Of course, it would be rank folly to take one moment more than we require. Get rid of lest we forget. Grow stronger by the hour. If we are to have any hope of wresting this benighted realm from her talons, we must needs be soon. Though I am no expert in the workings of airships, it seems plain to me that the Enterprise suffered much from her time in the wilderness. Am I not correct, Sid? You are. Frankly, it's a miracle she carried us this far. As you know, the Howling Eye is encircled by a raging tempest, apt to turn proud trees to matchwood. Our battle will end before it begins if the Enterprise cannot weather the storm. Given time, I believe I can fully repair her. But if this tempest is as fearsome as you say, even that might not be enough. Confound it. There must be a way to brave the fury of the elements. The elements. But of course, that's it. We work upon the element itself. Using the power of a corrupted crystal, we could clear a path through the storm and spare the Enterprise a battering. I see. You propose utilizing the properties of a crystal to alter the elemental aspect of the barrier. It seems so childishly simple in retrospect. Though mayhap not to you, Sainthia, we speak of the manifestation of aspected ether that it can be found throughout Eorzea. Since the calamity disrupted the land's etheric currents, such crystals have become comparatively commonplace, which has been a cause of great woe, as they have been known to warp etheric energies, including those of living organisms. Point is, we could theoretically use a corrupted crystal to convert the wind aspected ether comprising Garuda's barrier into an ether of another aspect, one she cannot control. With certain modifications, the Enterprise should be able to deliver us to the Howling Eye in comfort, however hard Garuda blows. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. All this rests upon our ability to procure a crystal with the necessary properties. Have you any idea where we might acquire one? No, but I know a man who might. A scholar by the name of Lambertet, who resides in Camp Trampo. Strange as it may sound, I met him during my days at the time at the church. Well, Marquez met him, I suppose. Without a pity or for one willing listener, he would talk to me for hours about his etheric studies, corrupted crystals being his pet subject. It was a result of these conversations that poor Marquez was observed to possess an uncommon knack for theoretical science. Sainthia, I need to return to Thanalan and seek out this scholar. Sid and I will set about repairing the Enterprise in your absence. Yes, I'm Professor Lamberton. Beg pardon, you wish to hear about my research on the corrupted crystals? Truly? Well, nothing would give me greater pleasure than to discuss my work with a fellow woman of science. So rare to find to find fellow intellectuals in this region. It is even rarer to find one capable of comprehending the nature of corrupted crystals. Come to think of it, there was another, a hermit to whom the church had given sanctuary. Curious fellow, unsociable, rather daft at first impression. It possessed an amazing affinity towards the scientific pursuits. But to the matter at hand, did you say you wished not to conduct field investigations to harvest a corrupted crystal? Gad's woman! At least take the necessary precautions so you do not suffer from exposure to its harmful energies. I'm beginning to wonder if you have sufficient qualifications to handle such hazardous materials. Still, your ignorance is somewhat endearing. Luckily for you, I have precisely the means by which these inherent dangers may be averted. Simply store the crystal you seek within this warded pot to protect yourself from its deleterious effects, though I suppose you will be bombarded with its energies until you do place it within the vessel. Well, perhaps it will motivate you to work rather quickly. In any case, take the pot to Hahasuko. I would sooner mind monitoring the flow of the ether at the High Bridge. Explain to him your quest, and he shall instruct you in the finer points of crystal harvesting. How many times must I be made to explain myself? I'm not contemplating suicide, you imbecile. I have chosen this precise position to perform scientific measurements. What have we here? A container vessel. Why, this is the handwork of Professor Lamberton. You thieving knave, I shall call for the... Oh, you say the man himself lent it to you. Then you must have sought me out for his instructions, which means he believes me experienced enough to expound upon his explanations. At last, the recognition I so rightfully deserve. Oh, frabjous day! Kalu Kalay! That I should be chosen to guide this woman. Yes, I, Haha Sako, greatest of Professor Lamberton's pupils, shall see that you are successfully quarry your quarry. Your tummy's impeccable, in fact. I was just preparing to procure corrupted crystals from the burning wall for my personal research. There, the devastating destruction caused by the calamity has blessed us with a bounty of sublime specimens. But something tells me that not but a perfect piece will satisfy your highest standards. In which case, you must needs descend to the deepest depths. Amidst the flowing waters and the murderous Mirranites lies the most fantastic formation I have found thus far. Take this highly advanced researcher's tool and use it to separate a small fragment from the large cluster. Place it within the water pot and bear it back to me for inspection. The path which leads to the Burgundy Falls to the base of the burning wall is treacherous and terrifying, but advance with appropriate caution and you shall surely survive. A lot of these, I think, will be done. I see you've come limping back. View the crystal. What a particularly large and lovely crystal. Professor Lamberton will doubtless chortle with joy when presented to him in person. When upon your return, do remember to recount how I helped you with your harvesting. My keen scholar's sense tells me you've obtained the corrupted crystal. Am I right? If you would grant me a moment to examine the crystal. Ah, it is as you desired. A corrupted crystal overflowing with wind aspect to ether. Remind me, for what purpose did you intend to use this crystal again? What? To breach a barrier comprised of wind aspect to ether? Oh dear. That may prove problematic, as this crystal would only serve to strengthen the barrier. I suppose I'm at fault for not inquiring your objectives from the start. Had I known you intent, I would never send you to soccer. But what is science if not trial and error? And can you truly say this failure has taught you nothing? Think, woman. Now you understand the methods necessary to safely collect your corrupted crystal. You doubtless have no difficulty in doing so once more. What's more, the crystal you collected can serve as an invaluable resource for the ethereal studies conducted by the students of Baldesian. You've heard of them. Well, I don't mean to boast, but I have a professional relationship with the organization. Not as equals, of course, but I would never be so bold to claim that level of expertise. Oh, you're right. Your eyes seem to glaze over for a moment. Anyway, I shan't keep you from your task. You've still a corrupted crystal to find. Corrupted crystals of sufficient size and strength are not all that common, I fear. Fortunately, one of my other students, Sienna, claims to have discovered another promising site in eastern Laodicea. Wait, that's not correct. Eastern Laodicea was where she was nearly killed when wandering too close to an Imperial castrum. That makes made for an amusing anecdote. It was Western Laodicea, fair Sirius, on the Isles of Umbra, to be precise. I can't recall her exact reasoning. Something to do with one of Dalaman's talents or some such nonsense. All I can say for certain is that she's still in Aleport, attempting to gain access to the Isles. When I travel there and see if Sienna's inquiries can bear fruit. You can look past the crass and violent ways of the local pirates and might find your time to be quite pleasurable. Oh, don't forget to take your makeshift welded pot, lest she think you are unprepared for the task. Corrupted crystals? Madam, I have no interest in being the butt of your jokes, so if you have no other reason to address me, kindly leave me be. Well, be damned. Professor Labyrinth did send you. Beg your pardon, it seems you got off on the wrong foot. I'm Sienna, greatest of the professor's pupils, which is doubtless why he bid you seek me out. Indeed. I am an accomplished scholar with extensive background in... Oh god. Just listen to me prattle on and on. I must have given this introduction a dozen times now. As I told the professor in my many missives, I believe the area surrounding Ferris Sirius is replete with corrupted crystals of exceptional strength. Unfortunately, I have yet to test my hypothesis, as well as all access to the Isles of Umbra is prohibited at present, for reasons unknown to me. You see, my attempts to inquire this information is often met with annoyance and disdain. It's rather puzzling since I always take my time to explain my motivations a great deal of the subjects of my question. Maybe you might have better luck wresting the information with these yellow jackets. I've all but given up at this point. Ah, you startled me. Don't you know better than to sneak up on a person at a time like this? With all the fatuous gossip of spirits and specters haunting the Isles of Umbra? Just because I know it's nonsense doesn't make it any less frightening. You're keen on traveling to the Isles of Umbra? Bloody hell's lass, are you drunk or just crazy? Ain't nothing there but death, death, and more death. The Isles of Umbra? What interest have you in the gods' forsaken place? Ever since we were forced to abandon Fair Sirius, the Isles have become not but more than a graveyard for ships unable to navigate the shores, and a purgatory for the souls dragged down to the depths with them. Ah, Sainthia, you returned. Tell me of your findings. Really? Fest with the undead, you say? That is very, very interesting development. Excuse me for a moment while I gather my thoughts. Worry not, my friend. I've given your findings some thought, and I've concluded that this talk of spirits is nothing more than local folklore. As to why the travel top of the Isles of Umbra is restricted, well, maybe it's considered too dangerous owing to the abandonment of Fair Sirius. Yes, well, anyway, while you're questioning those yellow jackets, I paid a visit to the local pub, since even an esteemed scholar myself enjoys during Dullingwoods on occasion. It was there I've heard tell of a man named Guyfern, who was recently detained after returning from, wait for it, the Isles of Umbra. This is the first time I've heard of someone actually traveling from there, so I'm curious as to how he obtained permission. Mind having a chat with him in my stead? He was arrested after all, so I'm somewhat reticent to approach him myself. I have to go back. She calls to me, sings to me. Ugh. Tell Mimido I'm sorry. Give him this. He was right. Or you could release me. Yes, release me. I will go and tell her. Let me go to her. What does Guyfern have to say? Well, that's not terribly helpful. Couldn't care less about how much he misses his favorite bar wench. What was that about a man named Mimidoa? Wait, I know that name. That's the bastard who grabbed my arse the other day at the pub. Well, if you want to give him the feather, be my guest. I'm not going anywhere near him in his wandering hands. Another initiate, are you? No? Then what are you? Speak up, Missy. I can't hear you. Bugger me, is that what you think it is? Nah, couldn't be. You found this, you say? Where'd you say you found it? Skyfaring, you say? I'm gonna have a word with the lad. It sounds like there's not left Nick twixt his ears. Supposed to help patch up Pharaoh Sirius he was. Company sent me to supervise a lot of them. Weren't getting work done on their own, see? Half of them walked out, half of them ran off, and half of them up and vanished. What's that? You're looking for passage to Ellis and Umbra. Why did you say so? I'm thinking of dispatching someone to take a look on behalf of Mimidor. How the land lies. Ain't no one been interested till you came a call. Whole ports up and around about spirits and so forth. Had the guild out the house of soul swords and let them sort it out. You'll do in a pinch, I will. Tell this parchment to the skipper and he'll see you there and back. So you wouldn't have had a word with Mimidor. How good value of time you saw fit to waste around into something. You mean the disgusting creature was Skyfriend's superior? I find that hard to believe. But this writ of passage does appear to be genuine, so it must be true. I say it is a relief to work with such an industrial woman as you. I look forward to hearing the discoveries you will make on the Isles and Umbra without me. Fine. I'll fairly see the justification of dragging me along on your journey, but if you insist, I'll go as well. But 12 of us might witness. If you leave me behind to be devoured by some horrid abomination, I shall come back and to haunt you. Ha! Take me to the Isles of she bids. As if as simple as... Oh, I see we got a rare passage. Alright then, come aboard. This doesn't seem all that bad. I'm not saying I'd like to build a summer home here, but... Oh, the hell's with this. Here, take your pot and go on without me. You've harvested corrupted crystals before, right? So it isn't as though you would require my assistance. Speak to the man guarding the gate. I'm sure he'll let you in. Now, if you'll please excuse me. Beg your pardon, madam, but how did you come here? Access to the owl is currently restricted. No pot. I'm not sure I follow. Oh, I see. You wish to harvest a corrupted crystal. Sorry, friend, but you may have to return empty-handed. The writ Master Mimidor gave you may guarantee access to the island, but only authorized personnel may proceed past this point. Why, you ask? Look up and see for yourself. When the giant mass of crystal struck the lighthouse, it caused severe damage to both the structure and the machinery within the once powered the beacon. Aye, contrary to what the small folk would have you believe, the fires of Pharaoh Sirius were not the product of mage's Thaumaturgy or colossal arcane bomb, but an elaborate contraption fueled by ethereal energy. Repairs are still ongoing, but it's anyone's guess when they'll be complete. What's worse, all work has ceased since the rumors of the Walking Dead drove off their entire crew. Not that those rumors are incorrect. I've observed the fiends from a distance at the ship graveyard to the south. What's drawn them to our shores is still a mystery, though. Make you do, Sainthia. Help me unravel this mystery, and I'll bring you your corrupted crystal. In fact, I shall begin searching for one that satisfies your requirements. As to where to begin your inquiries into the situation, it so happens that a party of 3 adventurers came ashore not long ago, seeking to scavenge valuable trinkets at the ship graveyard. I'd be surprised if they knew nothing about the undead infestation, so it might behoove you to question them. It's all there for the taking. 5 bleeding years worth of wrecks and the cargo. But those queer dead things and that voice. Actually, the voice is quite nice. You saw them too, right? Dead people. Just shambling about without a care in the world. Except when they do seem to care. That is, and that's shuffling towards the water. God, it's that voice. That single fleeting verse. I can still hear it. Stay clear of the southern shore, friend. It took every ounce of my strength to resist. This talk of an alluring voice is disturbingly familiar, as if... That's impossible. They're all dead, aren't they? But if they have returned, that would mean... Oh, beg your pardon. I was just thinking about something. Which reminds me, I've received word that Master Modoa would be arriving any moment. Apparently he grew frustrated waiting for the sweet young lass with skin soft as sphinx down to return. Which I assume is you. I don't know about the sort of arrangement you had, but you should probably go explain yourself. What's been keeping you, initiate? I ain't getting any younger, you know. So honey and voice harlot's been calling out to folk and wander near the strip graveyard and stirred up the dead and all? Bloody hells. This takes me back to my days as cannibals down under the mistbeard. They wouldn't dare, would they? Not after the lesson we learned them last time. Bah, they bloody would, though, wouldn't they, brazen old biddies? Some folks said as the first purge would be the last, but I knew deep down in me bones that this day would come. And come it has. I bet me bum ear a siren's behind this. Nay, not one of them sanguine variety, initiate. I speak of the other kind, them what's got feathers and lure spirits to water grave with their sweet, sweet song. Oh, but it don't end there. No drown's just a start. See, even in death, a man stays bound to the beast, forced to do a bedding till his corpse can't do it no more. Just a fate I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Except maybe in a drink, and I'd regret it after. Any road. 'Tis up to us to stop this hell's-born hussy before she takes another soul. Of course, we can't send you marching off to war without these. Siren don't have the power over a man as long as he can't hear her song. Just lucky for you, I carry a spirit pair. And lucky for the both of us, I'm superstitious old sod, eh? Well, she ain't coming to us, so we best head over to her. To the ship graveyard, initiate. me an elixir. What that's all about. Just near the shore. She's sure to spy the campfire and come look. Just a matter of waiting now.